Welcome. I think we will always see news about wars all over the world. Among the wars currently taking place, the most prominent is the Russia-Ukraine war. Once a war breaks out, there's always a loss for both sides, with no one benefiting. The longer a war lasts, the more money and people are wasted. The wars I want to talk about today are the longest wars, about the shortest wars in the world. Falklands War, 1982, 74 days. The Falklands War was a 10-week conflict in 1982 between Argentina and the United Kingdom over the Falkland Islands, South Georgia, and the South Sandwich Islands. Argentina invaded the islands on April 2nd, claiming sovereignty, which prompted a British military response. The UK, under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, sent a naval task force to retake the territory. The war featured air, sea, and land battles, including the sinking of the Argentine cruiser, General Belgrano, and the British ship HMS Sheffield. After intense fighting, British forces regained control of the islands by June 14th. The conflict resulted in 649 Argentine and 255 British military deaths, along with 3 civilian casualties. Argentina's defeat led to the collapse of its military government, while the UK's victory boosted national pride. The Falklands remain a British overseas territory, though Argentina still claims them. Diplomatic tensions persist, but a 2013 referendum showed 99.8% of islanders favored staying under UK rule. The war highlighted the importance of air power and submarines in modern warfare. It also strengthened UK-US relations, as America provided intelligence support to Britain. Decades later, the conflict remains a sensitive issue in Argentina, where the islands are called *Las Malvinas. The Greco-Turkish War of 1897. The Greco-Turkish War of 1897, also known as the 30 Days War, was a brief conflict between Greece and the Ottoman Empire. It began on April 17, 1897, after a rebellion in Crete sparked tensions between the two nations. Greece, supporting Cretan independence, sent troops to the island, provoking the Ottomans to declare war. The Ottoman army, better equipped and organized, quickly defeated the Greek forces in Thessaly and Epirus. Despite early Greek optimism, their military lacked training and modern weapons. Key battles, such as Damocus and Velestino, ended in Ottoman victories. The war lasted only a month, ending with Greece's decisive defeat on May 20th, 1897. European powers, including Britain and Russia, intervened to mediate peace. The Treaty of Constantinople was signed in December, forcing Greece to pay heavy reparations and cede minor border territories. Crete gained autonomy, but remained under Ottoman control. The war exposed Greece's military weaknesses and led to reforms in its armed forces. For the Ottomans, it was a rare late-century victory, but did not halt their empire's decline. Soviet-Japanese War, 1945. The Soviet-Japanese War, 1945, began on August 9th, days after Hiroshima. The USSR invaded Japanese-held Manchuria, Korea, and Sakhalin. Stalin had promised at Yalta to attack Japan after Germany's defeat. The Soviets launched Operation August Storm, a massive blitzkrieg. Over 1.5 million Soviet troops crushed Japan's Guangdong Army. Japan's forces were poorly prepared, with outdated equipment. Soviet tanks and air power overwhelmed Japanese defenses. Key battles occurred in Manchuria, South Sakhalin, and the Kuril Islands. The Guangdong Army surrendered by August 20th, ending resistance. Soviet forces also advanced into northern Korea, future North Korea. The invasion sped up Japan's decision to surrender in WW2. Japan announced surrender on August 15, 1945. Fighting continued until the formal surrender on September 2nd. The USSR captured 600,000 Japanese POWs. Soviet casualties were 12,000 to 20,000 dead. Japan lost 84,000 plus troops and its empire in Northeast Asia. The USSR annexed South Sakhalin and the Kuril Islands. Serbo-Bulgarian. The Serbo-Bulgarian War broke out in November 1885, lasting only 2 weeks. It began after Bulgaria's unification with Eastern Rumelia, which Serbia opposed. Serbia, led by King Milan I, feared Bulgaria's growing power in the Balkans. Bulgaria had recently gained autonomy from the Ottoman Empire, 1878. Serbia demanded territorial compensation, but was refused by Bulgaria. On November 14th, Serbia declared war and invaded Bulgaria. Bulgaria's army was smaller, but better organized under Prince Alexander I. Key battles occurred at Slavnica and Pirit. Bulgaria won decisively at Slavnica, November 17th to 19th, despite being outnumbered. Serbian forces retreated in disorder after heavy losses. Bulgaria counterattacked, entering Serbian territory near Pirit. Austria-Hungary intervened, pressuring Bulgaria to halt its advance. A ceasefire was signed on November 28, 1885. The Treaty of Bucharest, March 1886, restored pre-war borders. No territorial changes occurred, but Bulgaria's unification was recognized. The war weakened Serbia's prestige and King Milan's rule. Bulgaria emerged stronger, gaining European recognition. The conflict highlighted declining Ottoman influence in the Balkans. It intensified rivalries, setting the stage for future Balkan wars. The war demonstrated Bulgaria's military potential under unified leadership. India-Pakistan War of 1971. The India-Pakistan War of 1971 was a conflict related to the Bangladesh War of Independence. This war was fought over political and ethnic tensions between East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, and West Pakistan, now Pakistan. After the partition of India and Pakistan in 1947, East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, and West Pakistan were geographically separate, with differences in culture, language, and political rights. In the 1970 elections, the Awami League Party won a landslide victory in East Pakistan, but the West Pakistani government did not recognize it. In March 1971, the Pakistani army launched Operation Searchlight, suppressing the Bengali population in the east. Hundreds of thousands of people died, and the Bangladesh Liberation Army emerged. India, allied with Bangladeshi leaders, formally declared war on the Pakistani army on December 3, 1971. The war lasted 13 days, and Indian forces decisively defeated Pakistani forces in the east. On December 16, 1971, the Pakistani army surrendered and Bangladesh declared independence. The defeat in the war reduced Pakistan's political and military influence. India returns over 93,000 prisoners of war to Pakistan. Russia and Georgia War 2008. The Russo-Georgian War lasted 10 days, from August 7th to August 16th. It was a fast-paced, intense war. The war took place in the Georgian regions of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. The reasons for the war were that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the regions of Ossetia and Abkhazia attempted to secede from Georgia. Russia supported these regions and challenged Georgia's sovereignty. Another reason was that Russia did not want Georgia to move closer to the West and seek NATO membership. On August 7th, the Georgian army launched an offensive against the Ossetian region, invading Georgia and attempting to take control of the regions of Ossetia and Abkhazia. Within days, Russian troops approached the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, and the Georgian army was forced to retreat. The international community pressured the war to stop, and with the help of French president, a ceasefire agreement was reached. The war, which lasted just 10 days, killed about 800 civilians on both sides and left more than 100,000 people homeless.